What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this brand new 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Huge shout out and thank you to Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge and Ram for providing this new Gladiator for today's video. Definitely check out the links to their website in the description below. As you can see, they have a huge selection of the 2021 Jeep lineup, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in Sting Gray and is equipped with the 3-liter turbo diesel engine and has an MSRP at $66,500. Underneath the hood, this utilizes a 3-liter turbocharged V6 diesel engine that puts out 260 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all 4 wheels through the 4-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight just under 5,000 pounds and running on a 19-gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 21 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. The overall length is 218 inches with a wheelbase at 137.3, the height is 74.1, and width is 73.8 inches. As far as off-road capabilities, the approach angle is 43 degrees with breakover at 20 degrees, departure is 26 degrees, and overall ground clearance is 11.6 inches. And then as far as towing and payload capacities go, max towing is around 6,000 pounds and payload is just over 1,000 pounds. Taking a look at the overall styling now with this 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Of course, this has the traditional 7 bars in the grille that are classic for Jeeps. We also have LED headlights with LED daytime running lights within the fender flares, and you can see all the nice designs within them. We do get a metal front bumper that is modular in separate pieces, and we have LED fog lights down below. There's red tow hooks on the top portion of the bumper, and then you can see the manual hood releases on the farthest sides. The front end of the Jeep Gladiator definitely has that classic design to it, and then as we make our way to the side profile, you can see a Rubicon spelled out on the side part of the hood, and we get a set of body-colored fender flares with satin black trim on the farthest sides. This truck also features a set of 17-inch wheels finished off in a 2-tone satin black machined silver. You can also see in the wheel wells this is equipped with the Fox shocks to add extra performance off-road and give it a little bit extra ride height. You can also see behind the fender a nice little vent cutout trim piece, and then Jeep Gladiator is written down there. You also get that same red trim around Jeep. And then taking a look at the side profile, we have a body colored roof that is a 3-piece removable hardtop. There's also a body line going underneath the mirrors that goes all the way into the bedside. And then looking at the overall side profile, it has a very boxy design and has a really proportional look all around, especially with the bigger tires. And then right in the center, you'll notice the Rubicon rock sliders to give it a little added protection when off-roading. And then as we move our way to the rear, you can see the same fender flare protruding outwards and a similar rock slider for the rear bumper. And then moving to the rear end, you can see how the exhaust pipe is actually tucked away for better off-road clearance. We have 4 parking sensors within the rear bumper, as well as 2 more red tow hooks and your trailer hitch right in the center. All the trailer hitch connections are on the left side of your license plate, and we have your standard backup camera right in the center of the tailgate with a massive Jeep logo right above that, and then the third brake light and tailgate release handle. The taillights have a really nice 3-dimensional design finished off in red and black, and they even house the sensors for the blind spot monitoring. So there's a good look at the exterior as well as some of the specs on this 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this truck? I think it looks really good, especially in the Sting Gray. So now to get into the interior, we do have the key fob. We do even have remote start. So I go ahead and lock the truck and then double tap on the remote start. You'll hear the diesel engine, warms up the glow plugs, and then starts right up. And then just tapping the button, we can shut it off. And keeping this truck locked, all I have to do is actually grab the door handle and it'll automatically unlock, and there is a button to automatically lock it, and we can check out the interior. This interior is finished off in black leather, and you're going to notice a lot of red trim all throughout. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, finished off in black, we do get some black leather along the armrest and red stitching. We have a grab handle on the top to close it, and then a grab handle on the bottom to help remove the doors since they are removable, of course. We have your lock and unlock as well as the release handle and mirror controls, and then a nice storage net down below. And then moving our way inside, you can see all the manual controls for the seats. Nice bolstering to it with black leather and all the red stitching. Smooth leather everywhere and a really clean stitching design. And as you make our way up the backrest, you can even see Rubicon embroidered into these backrests, and then black stitching along these headrests. And then flipping around to the steering wheel, finished off wrapped in black leather, and we get red stitching and chrome trim. And then now inside the Jeep, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have your speedometer over on the right side and then the tach on the left with your gear pattern. There's an LCD display right in the center with your engine temperature and fuel level, and if you use these buttons over here, you can actually control what you see in the center screen. I can go down through a lot of different menus. You can see the radio pops up, we have messages, screen setup, you can have a digital speedometer as well as all of your tire pressure. We have more settings like this that come up to monitor a lot of the vitals within the vehicle, which is a great touch to see. Continuing down, we have some off-road settings like all of your differential and drivetrain and your sway bar disconnect. We have a pitch and roll meter as well. Then continuing down to see your adaptive cruise control, fuel economy, and other things like that. Taking a look at the actual steering wheel, we have those controls on the left with Bluetooth and audio. Over on the right, we have your adaptive cruise control settings. And then behind the steering wheel, we have your windshield wiper stock on the right side and then the turn signal stock over on the left. And then to the left of the actual steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls as well as the interior lighting. You can see some of this really nice red trim around the air vent along with red stitching along the top of the dash. Moving our way to the center, you can see that continue as well as a little bit of storage. Then the entire airbag cover on the right side is finished off in red with a passenger grab handle. And then moving to the center infotainment screen now, this is an 8.4-inch LCD display, really nice HD graphics. You have a lot of controls that come up. You can monitor all of your climate control settings, very easy and quick to use everything here. You have other controls right here like your backup camera, you can easily turn that right on. You can even see your bumper, which is really good. Exiting out of that now, you can go back into controls and see a few other things like heated seats and steering wheel. We have a settings icon, you can control everything here. We have your apps icon in the lower section. You can see all these different things that'll pop up. You do have the off-road pages that you can tap. And with that all popped up now, you can see a lot of different information within the truck, like your sway bars and axles, your transfer case, your altitude, and your actual coordinates. You can change this as well to see all of your gauges at once. Same with the pitch and roll. This is a great feature for off-roading. If we exit out of that now, we also do have navigation in this screen. Everything comes right up. Really good view, a large map. And then moving down below the screen, we have some physical controls for all the climate controls. I think that makes it very easy to use. Heated seats and steering wheel, dual zone climate control. You can see the fan speed right in the center. We have volume over on the left and your tuning on the right. And then we have more controls in the bottom. We have the downhill assist, parking sensors and hazard, traction control and start stop feature. And then below all that, we have all of your window controls right in the center because these doors are removable. We have a media window right here that comes up with different USBs and auxiliary ports, and then a 12 volt over on the left. On the bottom now, we have some off-road settings like your locking differentials, rear and front and rear. We have off-road use buttons here for your sway bar disconnect, and then extra auxiliaries if you do plan on adding a winch or LEDs or things like that. And then taking a look at the center now, we have your four-wheel drive selector. You get a manual shifter, which is really nice to use, pulling it straight back for 4 high, and then over to the right and back down for 4 low. We have your gear shifter over on this right side, finished off in more leather and stitching, and all your gears on the left. There's also 2 cup holders in the center and a manual parking brake. And then right in the center of the truck, we have your armrest with more stitching. Opening this up with the first button, we have a little bit of storage, and then grabbing the second lever, it opens all the way up to reveal all of the space. We have a USB port in there as well. And then taking a look at the glove box now, which is lockable. You have a pretty good amount of space in here, as you can see, and then closing that up and taking one last look at the interior. It's a very simple interior. I like how everything is laid out, and being the fully loaded Rubicon, I love how you get all the leather and stitching. Adds a lot of nice class to it. Up on the ceiling, we do have 2 speakers and all your dome lights on the back, and you can see the removable portions for the front side of the roof. And then right up front now, we have a nice frameless mirror, and then garage door openers up on the sun visor. Onto the rear seat space now. I can go ahead and open up the door. The door panel's finished off just like we saw up front with the same black leather and stitching and a little bit of cargo. Moving on to the interior, we have the same black leather seats with all the red stitching. This is a 3-seater bench back here. And then on the back sides of these front seats, there's all these straps and a little bit more storage, which is a really cool feature. And then right in the center, we have 2 climate vents and your window controls. Cup holders are on the floor, and then we have USBs and a 3-prong outlet. And then taking a look at the configurations of these rear seats, you can grab the front of it and lift it and lock it into place. You have a little bit of storage in here with a really nice bucket, which is great for a lot of items, and it passes through both of these seats. I can give this a firm pull and lock it back down, and then grab the hook on the backside of the seat rest. With this down now, it folds nice and flat, as you can see, for even more storage space. And there is storage behind these with another cargo net. All right, so climbing into the back now of this Jeep Gladiator, you actually do have a pretty good amount of space in here. I have the driver's seat set about my height, and I'm 5'11", and I do have a bit of knee room, which is nice to see. The armrest is in a really good place as well, and the backrest is at a good angle to where it's not too cramped feeling. You do have these speakers right in front of you, which is going to be good for playing some music, and then the windows are pretty large back here where it doesn't feel too tight. You do have a manual sliding rear window as well, and then you can even grab the center backrest now to reveal another armrest, and you have 2 cup holders. And then to take a look at the bed space, you can just grab the handle and it will soft open. Quickly does that, and you can see how everything is finished off in a spray and bed liner for added durability. We have LED lights on each side as well as 4 tow hooks in the back, and you get a nice flat tailgate for a workbench. Alright guys, so we are setting off now in this 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon fully loaded truck. We even have the diesel engine. I've never driven the diesel engine in one of these Jeeps, so that's going to be super cool to see how this vehicle performs. Already though, this is an awesome spec. The Stingray looks so cool, especially with all the black accents. It's a really aggressive truck. Definitely looks like it's at home hitting the trails with it. And then this interior is where it's at, all the black leather and the red. It's just a really good color combo all around. So now we'll have a stop sign, then we'll get up to some speed, over 400 pound-feet of torque. That is a crazy amount for a smaller truck like this. I'm excited to see what this is like. But getting up to some speed now, just give it a little bit of gas. Wow, that was barely over 3,000 RPM, and that was right up to 50 miles an hour. That is a nice engine to have. You can get it in the Wrangler as well if you don't want the pickup truck, but that is super sweet to see that. And then as far as blind spot and visibility and things like that, you have a really good view out. I love how the hood, you can see all the contours, you can see the vents in it, the huge bubble in the center, and then looking at all of your different mirrors, you pretty much don't have any blind spots in this truck. Over my right shoulder, equally as good, and you can see right through that side window looking over your left shoulder. As far as the actual driving and comfort, it's a little bit of a rough vehicle to drive. You know, it's not a luxury car, it's not a luxury truck. If you want that, maybe check out a Dodge Ram. But with this truck though, this is at home hitting the trails, off-roading. It has solid axles front and rear, so it's really good at the articulating, the off-road crawling and things like that. But even on-road with the oversized off-road tires, it still feels pretty stable. I don't really have any complaints like that. We're going about 40 miles an hour. You don't really hear any tire noise or wind noise. The loudest thing is the engine. You hear the diesel engine compared to just the gas engine or even the 4-cylinder. But even that though, it's a pretty refined ride for what it is. There is some sacrifice being such a capable off-roader. But of course, Jeep owners know that. I mean, these things sell like crazy. People love the Jeeps, the Wrangler and Gladiator especially. But then as we talk about the interior, the screen is amazing. I love how HD it is, and it's so easy to control everything in this truck. So with the climate control, I love how nice everything is for touchscreen, dual zone climate, all those things like that. So you still have the amenities and luxury features that you're gonna want in a modern truck, you know, the adaptive cruise control and blind spot alert, but you're still getting the rugged feeling vehicle. And then getting comfortable with these seats, all the manual controls, pretty easy to get everything in a good position. You have the strap for the recline, and we're actually pretty comfortable now. You know, the armrests are in a good place, and the steering wheel you can move around as well. And it's actually got good arm positions to just cruise if you are taking this on a longer trip, highway mileage and things like that. So it is a vehicle you can put some miles on just cruising, and then being a pickup truck, you have a pretty usable bed as well. And of course the bed liner in it is going to keep it nice and durable. So we got a stop sign, we'll hit the brakes. They seem to do a pretty good job. It stops exactly the way you would want to. And like I said, good visibility. We have a little bit of a gravel turnaround that we'll turn around in just to feel out just the slightest articulation with the truck. But it's nice to drive. I like the diesel engine. It definitely gives it a little bit added character. So hitting some bumps now. Of course, that is not even a question for a truck like this. This is perfectly at home. And then a lot of nice articulation there. And then getting up to speed again, that diesel engine. Wow, that is so nice. I really like the diesel. I think if you're concerned about power, the V8 is coming soon, I know, at least for the Wrangler, but this diesel is awesome. You have so much torque, and given that you have an 8-speed automatic transmission, I think the 8-speed really does a good job managing the power to keep the RPM low to really utilize the torque that you get. Just giving it some gas right now. it downshifts, and that wasn't even just over 2,000 RPM, and we get right up to speed. So it is a really cool engine option. Towing, you know, it's going to do a really good job if you have a heavy thing you're towing. The interior, I think the fit and finish is really nice. These have come such a long way from the early models. Of course, fully loaded Rubicon, you're going to get all the nice things, but I really do like the leather and how everything feels. The things you actually touch are nice, high quality, so it just gives you that little extra touch of you're in a nice, expensive vehicle that also feels expensive. But I think that then is about going to wrap it up for this 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. We got the diesel engine, beautiful spec inside and out. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this truck for today's video. Check out the link to their website in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the 2021 Jeeps, so definitely check them out. But that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video.